me asking you about it or telling me about it. Do you recall that?
You asked me about it?
Yes, and you didn't remember it when I asked you about it.
What else was it?
An answer. Do you remember not recalling that meeting at all when I asked you about it?
I don't even remember what they asked me about it.
Okay. This gang meeting with Mo, is that the same meeting that you told Detective Thorpe about back in 2015?
I told you, when it came to talking to the detectives, I would tell them anything to get them out my face.
And is this the same meeting that you told Detective Dennis and Gaither about back in 2015?
I guess, I don't know.
Is this the same meeting that occurred after Rich Homie Quan's car was shot up at the music studio?
Was it after? I don't know.
And is this the same shooting that Nut was at that studio as well when Rich Homie Quan's car got shot up, correct?
Yeah, ask them. I don't know. I don't know who was at where. I don't know.
Now, last week, do you remember saying that that meeting was about you? This gang meeting was about you. Do you remember saying that?
It's the way you ask me the question. You got to ask me the same way they asked me. The part I know about.
Wasn't this also about Thug? Weren't Thug discussed at this meeting as well?
Was it? What they brought his name up?
Yes.
No.
Do you remember telling Investigator Thorpe that this meeting was about you and Thug?
I told you. I had to. You keep going to me. And when they questioned me, I was trying to, bring him in. I mean, like.
You're the person who brought up Thug, correct?
I guess so.
Detective Thorpe never brought up Thug, correct?
Right, correct.
Matter of fact, he had to clarify who you were talking about, correct?
Yes.
So
remember how I was telling you that I take a little bit of piece of the truth?
So again, when it has to deal with Thug, that part is a lie. But you being on the plate isn't a lie. But Thug being on the plate is a lie. Is that what you're trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is, when I was talking to Detective Thorpe, I wasn't raised to tell the truth to the police.
But this is because this was a gang meeting that they were putting you on the plate, correct?
I ain't never been on the plate.
Okay. They wanted to kill you and Thug. That's what you told the detective.
Yes, that's what I told the detective. Right. I remember you down there, we were laughing, yeah.
Okay. And that was the first time we ever met. Would you agree?
Yeah, that was the first time I ever seen you.
On recross, she's just trying to show Woody all the lies he said on the stand.
And do you remember I was standing on the back wall because I didn't know who you were?
Yes.
You were standing on the wall over to the side.
I remember you was quiet most of the time.
Did you tell us that you did not want to testify?
I think so.
Yeah. And did you told us that you had left all this stuff in the past?
They sound like somebody say.
And did you tell us that you were upset because when you needed our help, we didn't help you?
I guess.
Do you remember talking to us about Gaither not helping you out back in 2015?
I guess.
Do you remember telling us that we should have got your testimony back then when you were really willing to help us out?
I guess.
We never went into details about anything that Little D told you. We never went into details about any of the Club Crucial. We never went into details about the facts of 2015. Isn't that fair?
I'm going to object. This is all testimony.
I still don't understand why any of this matters. Because it's like, if what he said is corroborative, if you can corroborate what he says, isn't it a done deal? So what are we doing? I just don't get it. Like, if what he told you led to arrest, then what he told you was true, right? So what are we doing?
Will not be a witness, please.
Brian Steele's objecting, saying Miss Hilton is testifying right now.
The only thing we talked about was the fact that you did not want to be in Fayette County Jail and you wanted a court date so you can get out of jail. Is that fair?
No, we was in there for a long time.
And we never discussed the facts of the case, correct?
See, you talking. I think I'm more talking to Miss Love. And you was just, because I just remember you just kept standing there and you trying to act like somebody in the hood. So.
She laughed at him.
Just remember you just kept standing there and you trying to act like somebody in the hood. So.
But you could tell Miss Hilton thinks Woody is kind of funny.
Quiet to be myself.
No, you acting like somebody I grew up with.
Let's focus on what it is that you're trying to have him clarify.
Isn't it true that you told me because you all have not talked, he was not your attorney?
No, I always told y'all he wasn't my attorney. I don't talk to him that much.
I asked you if you still wanted to talk to me, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
And we talked, correct?
Yes.
And it was a cordial meeting, which is that fair to say?
I don't know what that means.
It was a pleasant meeting, is that fair to say?
A pleasure?
It was a good meeting.
I just kept telling y'all, leave me out of this.
And when we met, you told us you did not want to testify and that you just wanted us to play the tapes, correct?
But that's what y'all wanted. That's what y'all said y'all wanted. Listen, man, I don't know you. I don't know these trick questions that you asked me or what, but you know what me and you talked about.
Okay.
And I told you that I done lied on these people and got me up here. You talking about I put my hand up to God to tell the truth and I'm lying, but you can't tell me what I'm lying about and telling the truth about.
When you asked me to just play the tapes, I told you I couldn't just play the tapes.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I can't.
That's what I'm saying. If you can't tell him, if you don't have no evidence, you can't tell what he's lying and what he tell the truth about. To me, that makes perfect sense.
Let me get to your objection.
But I understand saying that all to the. I understand it. Just giving the jury everything and then let them decide. Even though I think some shit that you said before this, like, you shouldn't be able to be forced to be put on a witness stand if you don't want to. If you're not saying what you said before, I guess they could play it to the jury. To me, they shouldn't be able to testify you. They should just be able to play it for the jury and call it a day.
really unfair unless the facility's going to come with. I cannot answer any questions. I have no reports on it.
So he can say, yeah, that's right. He can say, no, that's not right. He can say, I don't remember. He can say, here's what really happened. I mean, it's not testimony, it's questions. And I have and will again instruct the jury that what the attorneys ask is not testimony, it's not evidence. So I understand, and you continue to have your continuing objection, and it continues to be overruled.
I think I told you y'all don't got y'all facts together, but I don't know.
Okay. And do you recall telling me that some of the facts that we didn't have together was the fact that you had stolen Donovan Thomas's stuff?
What you mean?
Did you tell me?
You talking too aggressive right now, and it's frustrating me.
Did you tell me? The one thing that I did not have correct is that you were the person that stole Donovan Thomas's belongings.
Dude, this man. How is he still on the stand? He's been on the stand forever, man.
I guess.
For real. I thought this was done.
When I asked you about the shooting with Thug and Nard in the car on the night that you got into the fight with Kel at Club Crucial, that I didn't have all of my facts together regarding the shooting with Thug and Nard. Did you tell me that?
I don't get what you're saying.
Do you recall telling the detectives about a shooting with Thug and Nard in the car, and you and your brother was in another car, and you saw Nard with a gun, and he racked it, and when you started driving away, you heard shots being
I
fired?
told it to you here?
No, did you tell that to the police?
To my interrogation room?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't tell the police anything.
Okay. Do you remember telling me that I didn't have all of those details correct?
No, I don't remember telling you that.
Okay. Did you tell me that your biggest concern was what the defense knew about you?
My things I did?
Yes.
Right.
And did you tell me I don't have a problem testifying for y'all? I'm more concerned about what they know about me.
I'm concerned about both of y'all because they can, it ain't, cause, I mean, I don't know. It's just, man, I don't know. You got me up here and, cause y'all put me in here and I constantly told you, I know I just told you every time you talk, like, I don't lie. Y'all put me up here and y'all be expecting me to remember the lies I done told. Yeah, I better remember the truth.
And remember when we met, you've never told me any lie that you said back in 2015. Is that fair?
All the time, to be honest with you, you ask me these questions.
I
Anytime
thought we've been through this though. I thought y'all already said this already.
time you met, it was just laughing, hee ha ha. Like, I don't, shit, you played on me.
Because we were always cordial with one another. Is that fair to say?
If that's what it means.
Said you played on me.
Now, do you
I know him for real, and I just made it up, and you was like, and then you were like, well, I gotta let the defense know, and I was like, damn, you gonna tell them? And then you were like, I have to, and then I just like, damn, don't tell them because the defense already saying that, you know what I mean, too much that they don't need to be saying.
on the day that you were going to testify, that it wasn't Nard that got into your car on the day that Donovan Thomas passed away, but it was Little D and Shannon that got into your car?
I don't get what you're asking me.
Do you remember telling me, switching your story up, that it
No, I
was,
didn't switch my story, but I came forward. You made me feel comfortable, and I let you know, like, I lied. The D never told nobody to kill nobody when he got in my car.
what you told me on June 7, 2024, that Little D didn't say anything to you? That's what you told me, correct?
You just confused me again.
Sure.
You said that was the first time I ever told anybody that? I guess. I don't get, like, I hear what you're saying, but I don't get it, I don't understand it.
It was only in June of this year, that was the first time you ever said that Little D did not tell you anything in the car, correct?
Because you're the first person I ever spoke with that made me feel like you went after me. So it was like, you made me feel comfortable to let it be known that, shit, I lied. So I felt like you was somebody I knew. And I wanted to tell the truth to you that I made it up.
Also, during these meetings, did you tell me multiple times that you did not kill Nut when we met?
Say that again? Yeah, I think I told you that.
When you got locked up because you pled the fifth, do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
I never forget it.
And you went to the Fulton County Jail, correct?
That's what y'all took me to.
And then you went to the DeKalb County Jail, correct?
That's what they took me to.
And then on Monday, June 10th, there was a meeting in the judge's chambers. Do you remember that?
Yes.
She's bringing up the ex parte meeting.
And the purpose of that meeting was to explain to you what would get you out of jail, correct?
I don't know. I don't know the purpose of it.
Remember during that meeting, your attorney asking me if he gets on the stand and says things that aren't true, would I be okay with that?
If I wasn't talking, I don't know. You told me that if I said I killed Donovan Thomas and I ain't kill him, you're gonna lock me up. You said that if I plead the fifth, you're gonna lock me up. And from my understanding, whatever I had to say didn't matter. From my understanding,
Did I ask you, did you plan on taking a stand and saying that you killed Nut to help your friends out because you had immunity? Did I ask you that?
I don't know if you asked me that, but I know I told you that I'm not admitted to no crimes.
Okay. And did you tell me you were not going to admit that you killed Nut?
Yeah, I'm not gonna admit that.
And did I then tell you that if you planned on claiming a murder that you did not do, that is when you would be charged with perjury?
That's what you just said. That's what I just said. You said if I said it right.
So that's some more context to the situation.
And you asked me when you questioned me, did I did, and I told you no.
At no point did I ever tell you if you just admit to killing Nut, you'll be charged with perjury. Did I ever tell you that?
I don't understand you.
This entire, I apologize, I know I have to object. I attended, I've been prosecutor Hillary putting her credibility before the jury without being questioned at all. I can't question. So I object to this entire line of questioning.
You said I did these crimes. Do you remember saying that I did these crimes?
Because I don't want my family to, I don't want my nephews and them to hear stuff that I did.
When you said you did these crimes, what crimes were you talking about?
I don't recall.
When you say you don't recall, what do you mean?
I ain't speaking on it.
Were these crimes that occurred back in 2015 or crimes that
I'm
happened
still here,
more
chat.
recently?
Just turn
I
my
don't
face
commit
cam
crimes.
off.
I changed my life.
So when you said I did these
I'm still here. Just turn my face cam off.
crimes, and Mr. Steele asked you about that, or Mr. Shard, what crimes were you talking about that you did?
I guess the ones in my dream, the nightmares, whatever. I don't know.
He's saying my nightmares?
Now, this is the interview that you told Mr. Shard last week you thought that the state of Georgia released, correct?
I believe it.
She about to ask him about the leaked 2021 interrogation footage.
You had a total of 6 interviews with the Atlanta Police Department. Is that fair? 5 from 2015 and then 1 from October 2021. Is that fair?
I don't keep up with it.
Are you aware that between the Fulton County District Attorney's Office and the Atlanta Police Department that we've had that October 2021 interview from the day that you sat down and did the interview?
Yes.
Did you know that we had the interview for 16 months in our possession before it was released?
Yes.
Did you know that we served that particular interview in discovery in January of 2023?
Yeah. I think I got it.
Yeah, I
Ms.
believe
Hilton.
it is relevant to.
She's hinting that when they served it to the defense is who leaked it. This is so messy.
The assertion that defense counsel made last week when they opened the door as far as who released this interview. They questioned him. And you're right. We
Yeah,
objected.
I think that is not a fair characterization. There was questioning about it.
And we objected to it, and it was overruled, Your Honor. And he was allowed to answer it. And so we are following up on the ability that he was able to answer that question.
I don't oppose that. It was on a jail call. I would like to ask questions of the prosecutor.
All right, it's not testifying. Ms. Hilton, rephrase your question.
He said there's a jail call. I would like to ask a question for the prosecutor. This is testifying.
Are you aware that that interview was given to defense in January of 2023?
No.
Are you aware that the video was released within 30 days of it being given to the defense?
I'm going to object. Did they have any evidence they can bring forward?
Overruled.
Are you aware that after the video was released, we brought the fact that it was released to the defense?
All right, let's take a break.
Brian Steele has a motion. It's a motion for mistrial, obviously.
And it's a recording of an interrogation of Mr. Copeland, and it was very harmful to Mr. Williams. The part that was released that I'm aware of, and I believe Mr. Adams was pressed, just has lies, well, you can say lies, about Mr. Williams ordering people to die. It was very harmful. I asked Judge Landville, predecessor judge, for relief and a bond because it denied Mr. Williams' right to a fair trial. The predecessor judge said there's going to be an independent investigation of who released that and that he would get to the bottom of it. I never heard back from that. A jail call, I listened to all these jail calls. We had others listen to all these jail calls. On a jail call, I didn't say anything last week. I played a jail call where Mr. Copeland said that immediately after telling the authorities in December 22, December 23, that he had lied and that everything he said was a lie about Mr. Williams, and he's telling this to his friend and his sister. He said all of a sudden this interrogation released. So he believed it was the prosecution team. That's how it all came up. For a prosecutor who's an advocate to then vouch for and put her own credibility in the issue, that's what I've been objecting to. And to say, we gave it to the defense, it sounds like I did something wrong. I didn't release anything. I didn't do anything wrong. I was the one objecting for the release of this information. And it was given out, and I'm not very technical, so it was given out in Dropbox, and I was told that's a fair way to do it. And Judge Landville and predecessor judge said, don't do it that way anymore. Yet the Dropbox was never taken down. It was all a mess.
Dropbox links can easily get leaked.
Now we're here on Tuesday, the 3rd day of September, and the prosecution asked a question which clearly targeted that did you know that within X amount of time that the defense got this discovery, which the previous answer was no, I don't know when the defense got the discovery. There's no foundation. That doesn't stop the district attorney of saying then it was released. Clearly, it's the same pattern that they've been given about all these witnesses. Mr. Trantavia Stevens, Mr. Dean, D-E-A-N, Mr. Murphy, this witness. Have you ever had to testify in front of Jeffrey Williams or these other people? Now all of a sudden, your testimony is different. And I've been objecting every time because there's no evidence of intimidation. And what happened, which you may not know, and this is based on information belief, I never spoke with Mr. Copeland about, so maybe it's not true. I believe he got beaten in the jail after that was released. I believe I could be wrong. But assuming that's all true, for the prosecutor to now say that their hands are clean, and I can't ask the question. Judge Landville denied my request to call the prosecutors and their agents to assert under questioning who released this. Because it certainly wasn't Mr. Williams' best interest. So anybody on Mr. Williams' behalf would do a disservice to release that Mr. Williams is having people killed.
Why would anyone on the defense release something where it's Woody snitching for hours on end and it's all crazy shit about Thug? I don't understand.
Ms. Hilton has taken, and I have all the cases we argued before, but has taken herself, and she has moved from the position of asking questions and advocate to testifying as a witness. You told me I was there. Detective walks out of the car. You told me. You only told me this. Did you know that the prosecution served this? Were you aware that the defense had this? All of this needs to be questioned to prosecutor.
So he's saying she just made herself a witness.
This is 9 cases in the state of Georgia. All of these cases require Ms. Hilton to take a witness stand. And if she does, I have no objection. I'm not witness. But it's been denied. That's my objection. I'd like her to be removed from the case. I'm not trying to stymie the prosecution. They have other witnesses. They have they were real other witnesses. I mean, this is not new. So I ask for the prosecution that specifically Ms. Hilton and Ms. Love to be removed from the case.
Another motion to remove them from the case. The judge is going to deny this, I promise you.
That I don't want. Don't want the motion to stop. I feel helpless.
Last week when Mr. Shard asked, he went down a line of questioning about this call being released. And Mr. Shard asked Mr. Copeland, what was his belief of who released this recording? And the state objected, saying that it wasn't relevant who he believed released this video. The court overruled the state's objection. He was able to answer that question, which was he believed it was the state. And at this point, we believe that it is proper for the same reason that he was able to disparage that the state would release such a video.
Okay, you need to be careful about what you're saying, because there are questions from the attorneys and then there are answers from the witness stand, and that's what the evidence is. And I do not believe that anybody on the defense side made the suggestion that the state had released it. I mean, the transcript will reflect what was asked and what was answered, but
It was the witness. Woody said the state leaked it. Straight up. They're basically attacking the defense for something Woody said.
Is the right word. But the question was asked, who do you believe released the video? And he says, I believe it was the state of Georgia. I believe that an appropriate line of questioning, Your Honor, is would he feel differently if he thought that the defense leaked it? And to give questioning about what his understanding of, what Mr. Copeland's understanding is of what happened, what transpired when this video was released.
well, we already know what Mr. Copeland's belief and understanding is.
But would it change if
That's not what you asked, though.
But I had to give some foundational questions in order to ask that question, in order to ask what my next question is. Because
Judge said, no, you didn't.
alluded to earlier was that after this video was released, Miss Love, Investigator Long, Miss Rolak all visited with him after this video was released to check on him, to make sure that he was okay. And he alluded to that earlier when he thought I was present at the meeting. And all of this happened around the time that the video was leaked. And so I was asking some foundational questions to Mr. Copeland to see if his position would be different if he thought that someone else leaked it and not the state of Georgia.
Then you
And
should
I can
ask that question.
And I can get to that series of questions, Your Honor, but I mean,
you are coming very, very close to the line with this line of questioning. I mean, you're basically, the defense is not far off. Let's just put it that way.
So I can move to my last two questions regarding this, which is who came to visit him after the video was released, and would he feel differently if he believed that the defense leaked the video?
No, I'm not going to let you ask that last question at this point. And that's a total hypothetical question. That is an assumes facts, not an evidence question, not the objection you keep making.
Ooh, frying her. Absolutely frying
back,
her.
let's
I
go
mean,
back.
that quite literally is assuming facts, not
I actually
evidence.
like this judge.
And I can get to that series of questions, Your Honor, but
Obviously,
I
I
don't.
do
mean, you are coming
think
very-
she has a little bit of bias, but what she's saying be to the book. She keeps it to the book. I will say that.
Very, very close to the line.
The other judge was not keeping shit to the book. He was doing whatever the hell he wanted to. That was crazy.
This line of questioning.
I didn't even know that judges can still do that.
You're basically, the defense is not far off. Let's just put it that way.
So I can move to my last two questions regarding this, which is who came to visit him after the video was released, and would he feel differently if he believed that the defense leaked the video?
No, I'm not going to let you ask that last question at this point. And that's a total hypothetical question. That is an assumes facts, not an evidence question, not the objection you keep making.
Ooh, frying her. Absolutely frying her. I mean, that quite literally is assuming facts, not evidence. It's all hypothetical.
First of all, any insinuation that I asked a question about release is way off. That topic never even came up during my cross.
You know what? And I know you're not finished, but let me just say that I believe that this jury is paying attention and that they have enough wherewithal to remember what actually happened. And for questions that are potentially misleading, I'm not sure why they're being asked, but I think the jury's going to take note of what got said. And I understand, but I think the jury is doing what they have been told to do, which is to pay attention to the evidence, not the questions.
Okay, this judge is clearly not happy with Miss Hilton right now. The jury's gonna see right through Miss Hilton's misleading questions.
I don't even remember the time that it was released, but apparently it was on social media. When that came to the attention of the court, to my recollection, from my vantage point, yelled at the defense, essentially blamed us, and all of us were saying, well, we didn't do anything. I personally don't even know how to release a video to the press or the internet anyways. I just went along with it. Okay, there's going to be an investigation. We're being told we're under investigation. And then all of a sudden, no one mentions the investigation anymore. And it's kind of like, well, if you're accused of something, you would like to know the progress of said investigation.
That's a little sus. Oh yeah, we're gonna investigate how this got leaked. All of a sudden, it just crickets. Sounds like they found out it was Miss Hilton and Miss Love.
Well,
Chambers, what's going on with it, if anything, but that's not really relevant to what's before this jury.
Well, it's not until the state, knowing that there was an investigation, knowing that they haven't heard of any findings, lights this thing on fire again and starts suggesting that we did something wrong. And, I can only speak for myself. I don't believe anyone did anything wrong on this side. I know I didn't. And then somehow those insinuations are coming out in front of the jury with absolutely no basis. I'm going to join my friend Mr. Steele, going to state in my place that I believe the state at this point is goading a mistrial and goading us to move for a mistrial. So I just think that was very inappropriate, and it suggested things that
Why is every day of this trial just chaos? I feel like
no basis. And in fact, there's apparently been an investigation and been settled as far as I know.
Would you like to address the assertion that you were goading
She probably shouldn't, but noted.
the defense into a mistrial?
Yes, Your Honor. Number
Right
one,
into a motion for mistrial.
yes, Judge, thank you. Number one, we don't want a mistrial. We vehemently object to a mistrial, and we do believe that the line of questioning, whether it was posed by Mr. Sharp or Mr. Steele regarding Mr. Copeland's belief about who leaked that video, was, one, not relevant, but understanding that the court ruled as it did, we believe that an inquiry whether his belief that the state leaked the video had some impact on how he decided to testify would be a valid question.
And that's, again, not what y'all asked.
Understood, Judge, understood. But I vehemently object to a mistrial. I do not believe that anyone here at this table has done anything, anyone at this table or on the state's behalf has done anything to in any way merit, warrant, call for, justify a mistrial. So we definitely object to a mistrial.
I'm going to overrule the motion for mistrial and, or deny the motion for mistrial and deny the motion to remove either Ms. Hilton or Ms. Love from the case.
Instantly denied.
Your Honor, I want to add that we cannot question any other individual that was at that meeting about Ms. Hilton and the way that she asked some of her questions and made her comments. Let me give you an example. Ms. Hilton said, I was standing to the side because I didn't know you. That's her feelings. That's her reasoning on why she was standing where she was standing. Ms. Hilton also said,
Literally testifying.
I was just being me. I can't ask Detective anyone in reference to that.
Hang on. Sorry. I mean, I think that each of those was not a statement. It was a question. It was a cross-examination question. They were, and was this essentially like, is this your recollection or is this what happened? So it was not her testifying. I'm overruling that objection.
All right. And I just want to add that she also said the purpose of the ex parte meeting. So there's no way that
he said, I have no idea what the purpose of that meeting was. So
I
mean,
was just thinking of
I understand,
something,
but
But that's her
How
testifying.
come I
She's
never
yapping about
seen
shit.
judges,
it's overruled.
like, chilling with some of, like, all they do is inmate stuff all day. Like, how come I never see them part of any, like, reforms? Like, under, you know what, man, you just made a couple mistakes. I'm gonna take you under my wing. Actually, maybe there is some shit like that, and I don't know about it. You just don't hear about them because it happens in the court. Because I feel like that's what I would be trying to do. Like, bro, I'm gonna try to save you before you do something you're gonna regret for the rest of your life, man. You gotta give people chances. I don't know why I just said that out of nowhere.
Thank you for the additional making of the record. Anything else?
God damn, Thug looks tall as shit compared to Brian. I would love to hear this conversation.
Thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Holt.
Did any of us ever tell you that your charges would be dismissed if you testify? That those charges would be dismissed against you if you testified?
All right, the same objection.
Oh, the same objection as before. She's just overruled.
Did anyone talk to you about those dismissal of those charges in exchange for your testimony?
I didn't know nothing about church till he told me about it.
Sure is very suspect, though.
So it's fair to say that you are not testifying here today because in exchange for your testimony for dismissal of those charges.
I'm testifying here by force.
But the only thing you don't remember now is what Little D told you in the car at the McDonald's. Is that fair to say?
It's not remember. It's, like I told you, I made it up. The D didn't get in the car and tell me that.
And is it only now in 2024 that it's convenient that you don't remember what D told you, or that D did not tell you anything inside of that car?
Because I didn't think it was gonna be a big deal. I just, if I knew that it would have did all of this, I wouldn't even, you know what I mean? Like, damn, man, I keep telling y'all.
Getting frustrated.
Now, do you remember last week on Cross that Mr. Steele showed you the surveillance video from the Texaco gas station?
Yes,
And do you remember him asking you whether or not you saw Thug get out the car?
I'm listening.
Do you remember him asking you that?
Yes.
Okay. And do you remember, I believe Mr. Shard also asking you if you saw Shannon get out the vehicle? Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember them asking.
First time he asked you, did you or Thug get the car window tinted on the Infiniti after you rented it from the Hertz rental facility?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So you don't know if you got it tinted?
I don't even think the car had 10 windows on it. I can't remember if it had 10 windows on it or not.
I'm asking, did you or Thug go get the windows tinted?
I don't know if the car was tinted. Like, I don't know. I can't remember if the car was tinted or not.
Now, on the night of Donovan Thomas's murder, it's fair you were not at the gas station that night, correct?
I told y'all I was in my baby mom's house.
And you only told the police what Little D from Mechanicsville told you, correct?
I told the police whatever to get them off of me.
And in that interview, you told the police that Little D told you that they switched cars.
I told the police whatever to get them off of me.
Do you know if they switched the cars behind the gas station?
How would I know?
When I'm telling him that these N-words are plotting on me, this N-word yet, hear the whole conversation, he came out the bedroom.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So who did you think was plotting on you?
I think they was planning on me.
Who's the they?
Mr. Williams.
Okay.
That's what I said.
And you were concerned that Yak was going to go back and tell Mr. Williams and them, which you were telling your friend?
I wasn't concerned about him going back and telling me. I really was debating should I let him leave.
You said that you lied on Thug. Do you remember testifying to that multiple times?
I told you that.
What are the lies that you've told on Thug?
I put a lot of blame on him that I know that I should never did. Like I said, if I knew that it would have caused all these problems right here, I would never did it. But I told you I was going through a dark